Hey everybody! So in today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to add and subtract rational expressions. So if you look over on the left-hand side there, I've got one example set up for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and write this down. So we have 8x minus 4 all over 7x cubed, and then we're going to add that to 8x plus 3 all over the same denominator, 7x cubed. Now when you're adding and subtracting rational expressions, there's a few little rules to remember, but the most important rule to remember is that they have to have the same denominator. If they have the same denominator, you can go ahead and combine them. If they don't have the same denominator, you need to find what that least common denominator is. So because these two have the same denominator, we can just go ahead and add them together. So the way it would look like is like this. You'll have that first x minus 4, and then you would add the 8x plus 3. And because they have the same common denominator, you would write it as 7x cubed. Remember, you don't add the denominators. You only add the numerators. So once you get to this part, you just want to simplify. So 8x plus 8x will give you 16x. Negative 4 plus 3 will give you negative 1. And then that's all going to be over 17x cubed. And then you're done. All right, so let's go ahead and have a look at another one, maybe where the denominators aren't quite the same. So here's one such example right here. So we have 3 over 2x plus 5 over 6x. And I should probably go ahead and number these examples so I don't get confused. Okay, so we obviously want to add these. Can't do that at the moment because the denominators aren't the same. So what we need to do is we need to try and figure out, well, how can I make them the same? They both have just an x, so that's good. They both have that in common. This has a 6 though, and this has a 2. So how can I get this 2 maybe to look like the 6? Well, one thing I can do is I can multiply by 3. So if I multiply that by 3, 3 times that 2x will give me the 6x. But remember, whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do the same exact thing to the top as well. So if I'm multiplying the bottom by 3, I need to multiply the top by 3 as well. So let's go ahead and see what we get. 3 multiplied by 3 will give you 9. 3 multiplied by 2x will give you 6x. And then remember, we still have that 5 over 6x. So now my two denominators are the same, so I can go ahead and add. So 9 plus 5 will go on the top. And remember, your common denominator, you don't add the 6x's, you leave it as just one common denominator of 6x. So 9 plus 5 will give you 14, and that's all going to be over, oopsie daisy, 6x. Now, with any fraction, you always want to simplify, if you can. So here, 14 divided by 6, that will reduce. 2's will go into 14 7 times, 2's will go into 6x 3 times. So therefore my final answer was 7 over 3x. All right, let's do one more example, but this time let's kind of take it up a notch. All right, so here we have, not only do we have subtraction right here, but we also have two denominators that are very, very different. So let's go and see how we would do that. So I've got 2x plus 3 all over x. And I'm going to be subtracting 1 over x plus 7. Now, in the previous example, it was kind of clear what we needed to do. In this case, it's really not. So here's one trick you can use. Multiply the denominators by each other. So here's what I mean by that. This has a value of x, whereas this one has x plus 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this one by x plus 7, which is that denominator, and I'm going to multiply this denominator by x. So basically what I'm doing is I'm multiplying each denominator by the other denominator. Because if you look now, this has an x plus 7 and an x, and this has an x plus 7 and an x. However, remember, whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So if I'm multiplying the bottom by 2x plus 7, then I also need to multiply the top by x plus 7 as well. And if I'm multiplying the bottom of this by x, I need to multiply the bottom of that one by, the top of that one by x as well. Now this is going to have a little bit more work than the previous ones, but if you just take your time, you'll be fine. So on the top right over here, I'm going to have 2x plus 3 multiplied by x plus 7. So that was that first one. Minus, and then I got the 1 multiplied by the x. So remember, this is all going to be over my common denominator of x plus 7 multiplied by x. So at this stage, it's really just multiplying out the binomials and then trying to simplify any terms. So let's go ahead and do that. So 2x multiplied by x will give me 2x squared. 2x multiplied by 7 will give me 14x. 3 multiplied by x, that gives me 3x, and then 3 multiplied by 7 gives me 21. And then here, 1 multiplied by x is just 1x, and I'm subtracting it, so I put a negative x there. And remember, it's all over x plus 7 multiplied by x. I'm not going to multiply these out because there might be some simplification later on with factoring. So now let's combine like terms. 2x squared, well, there's no other x squared terms. 14x and 13x, that's going to give you 17x. Oh, but then minus that x will give you 16x. So you've got to be careful with that. And then finally, I've got plus 21 here at the end. All right, and then all divided by x plus 7 multiplied by that x. Now, you've essentially done what you were supposed to do here. You've multiplied everything together, you've combined like terms, and you get this answer. And this would be an acceptable answer. However, the key word in the problem was simplify. So you need to see if you can actually factor this expression right here and maybe cancel anything out. So I'm going to go ahead and use the magic method. So 2 goes to that 21. So I have x squared plus 16x, and then the 2 multiplied by the 21 will give you 42. So just as a check here, I want to see, are there two numbers that multiply to make 42 but add together to make 16? I don't think there are. So 14 and, let me see, 14 goes into 42 3 times. 14 plus 3 will not give you 16. What else we got? 7 and 6. 7 plus 6 will not give me 16. I can't think of any others, so therefore this doesn't look like there's factors. So it looks like that's going to be my final answer. You know what? Let's go ahead and cheat and just put it in here and see what it tells me. So I'm going to put in 2x squared plus 16x plus 21. I'm going to highlight all of that, press the division sign, and then I'm going to have x plus 7 all multiplied by, in parentheses, and x like that. Let's see what happens. Look at that. I got that right. Aren't I a good guy? All right, and as you can see, they do it very much in a similar way on Delta Math. So if you get stuck, you can always look at their examples too. Anyway, hope this helps. These are not the most straightforward questions to do, so I would expect you to ask your teachers to try and help you with individual questions, okay? If you need anything though, please just reach out to us and let us know. All right, thanks very much, guys. Have a great day.